project on drilling for oil in the Great Lakes. We're making a video. Would you mind being featured in our video? They can say yes or no. If they say yes, we'll be like, okay, here's the dealio. What is your opinion on drilling for oil in the Great Lakes?
Absolutely not. No, it would be potentially an environmental disaster. No. No.
Oil. It runs our everyday life. Our country consumes a mind-boggling amount of oil each year. If every person in the world consumed like an American, we would need 3 more planet Earths to provide the resources. Since the 70s, the United States has produced less oil every year. For this reason, heads are turning towards the Great Lakes, a potential new site for drilling.
What could this mean for the residents that live along the coast of the Great Lakes? For the economy, for the natural oil production, for the environment.
I think that oil drilling is not a good thing for the environment, and I don't think it's a good thing for a country right now.
Drill for oil. I'm more concerned about the quality of the water if the, oil starts to leak or with.
The potential effects on the environment due to oil and gas drilling have been the primary driver in opposition. During the drilling process, environmental problems can arise through leaks, spills, and blowouts. These can kill organisms and alter ecosystems. Floating oil, polluted waters, and contaminated prey can cause things such as birth defects, shortened lifespan, and physiological changes among organisms of the Great Lakes. Are our vast and beautiful ecosystems and pure resources worth destroying? Think about the impact that would have on tourism and people who actually live on the Great Lakes.
Hello. Hi.
I'm actually here to see Renata.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Drilling under the Great Lakes, if you look at the consequences of drilling anywhere for anything, oil, gas, whatever, the technology is normally pretty amazing. They have some pretty good ways to extract natural resources from the earth. The problem comes when there's human error, and there's always human error. You are probably aware of what happened in the Gulf of Mexico last summer.
Yes.
Correct? When the oil spill that was at 5,000 feet.
Yeah.
Right. That thing was a disaster. With a capital D. A lot of folks were sort of going, gosh, that was close, thinking that the dispersants that were put in there to sort of eat up the oil, so that it wasn't big sheets that ended up landing on beaches or in wetlands on the coastline. Those dispersants, those chemical dispersants, were used quite heavily. And what scientists are finding now is that the dispersants are landing on the seabed and having impacts to various components of the ecosystem, including wildlife and microbes,
Right.
small things at the bottom of the food chain that things, way at the top of the food chain like us really depend on.
Okay.
So we have no clue yet what the long-term impacts are going to be. That, to me, is the best answer for why we don't want to drill in the Great Lakes.
According to the U.S. Geological Survey, an estimated 990 million barrels of recoverable oil and 11 TCF of natural gas could be recovered from the Michigan Basin. Some have even reported that 20 to 30 new wells could be drilled in Michigan. These wells would lead to the generation of revenues, employment, and domestic energy supplies. In a time where we are growing more and more dependent on foreign oil and our unemployment rate is at a record high, perhaps drilling for oil under the Great Lakes would provide a bit of relief.
I think we should drill in the Great Lakes. With the technology that's available today, oil spills are so rare that I think the odds of any sort of devastation that could occur to the Great Lakes is so minimal, it's worth the risk.
I think it'd be a fabulous idea, and I think it could provide many jobs.
The most important reason that you don't want to subject the Great Lakes to drilling accidents is because they are fresh water. They're not salt water. And they provide drinking water for over 40 million people in Canada and the United States. 40 million. Our northern Michigan economy really relies not only on tourism, but tourism is a huge driver. So if we have accidents with these kinds of wells, this is a bad thing. You know, you don't want to mess up the blue ribbon trout streams that people come here to fish in every summer, or the Great Lakes themselves. The other thing is that our economy is, of course, part of the larger state economy. And northern Michigan isn't the only tourist destination in Michigan, but people who do business in Michigan want to bring their families here when they do business in Michigan, so they want to live in a clean, safe environment. And providing a clean, safe environment for the people who will open businesses, or people that, you know, large corporations that we might want to attract to Michigan, a quality of life issue is something that will help to bring them here to stimulate the economy.
Currently, the Energy Act of 2005 specifies a permanent ban on issuing permits for all kinds of drilling in the Great Lakes.
The general agreement, whether you're Republican, Democrat, Independent, Green Party, the general opinion from most politicians is that it's kind of a bad idea to drill in the Great Lakes.
So, the question is, what can people of our generation do to help preserve the Great Lakes? The best thing we can do is stay educated on these very important issues.
You will hear all the time people talking that, what do you want? A good economy or a clean environment? As if the two can't exist together.
I'd like to take a minute just to sing a bell.